Here's the story. Johnny the Mad Dragon, who had my mother off my side. They were four fans, certainly obnoxious, but full of dragon's pride.
Here's the story of the great Jesse Godfrey, with Big D Coco and Mr. Rob. There were Jesse's crew, so fierce and passionate, and the red V shine true. Till the one day when Johnny met young Jesse, and they knew
It was much more than a hunt. That his group would form a fiery podcast. That's how we jumped on Mad Dragon's back. Mad Dragon's back. Mad Dragon's back. That's the way we became the Mad Dragon's back. Come on, Dragons fans! Fire up!
Well, g'day Dragons fans, and welcome to New Zealand Navigation Home Stadium, the destination for this Harold Matthews Cup clash. We are underway. It's just started here. It took a while before the fee finally came up, but we're off and running in this one. The Steelers with first use of the ball. They're working up towards the halfway line. It's with that Taj Barrett right on the midway point of the field as he plays it back to Asher Chapman for the first kick of the game. The Warriors, they've done me dirty. They've just put up some late changes to their squad. And you'll see there the 7 unknown. They'd only named 16 players until about a minute before kickoff, but they've finally finalised their 17. With the 13, Tyson Hanson has gone into that halfback role. So a few late changes for the Warriors. There's a good charge for Kateka up towards the halfway line for them now as they work down a blind side. That one might have been knocked down by the Steelers at 6 again. The referee has waving the hand. So another set of 6 coming for the Warriors, and they'll have first crack at the Steelers line. So they take it forward now through Byford. He's moved into the lock roll. A good charge for Lafferty, who's starting the game in jersey 15 after being named on the bench earlier in the week. Kateka, they're really setting a platform here, trying to draw in some Steelers defenders before they explore wide. Byford looks to get to the outside of Miafu. He does get to the outside of Miafu, and a second effort drives up over the line. The ball never hit the ground. He reaches out and scores the first try of this game for the Warriors. Well, it was just the big bodies rolling through the middle of the field that see the Warriors score first points in this game. Ronan Byford, the beneficiary there in the end, going across for the first try, and the Warriors lead 4-0, kick to come on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Because the New Zealand Warriors, the defending champions in the Harold Matthews Cup competition, and their premiership defence has started a little bit better than the St George Dragons premiership defence in the SG4. The Warriors 2 wins and a bye in their opening 3 games. They've started this one pretty well. Also, they lead 6-0. The conversion attempt sails over, 3.5 minutes gone. We head into the comments. Who's in here already? Ian Johnson up early. A bit earlier for me. You're 3 hours ahead. 7 a.m. kickoff for me. Woke up and thought, oh, well, why not? Let's jump up and see how the Steelers go in this game. It's certainly their biggest test so far. Down 6-0 early, not the greatest of starts. Might get the score scrolling along the bottom so everyone knows what's going on. Hopefully, doesn't get any worse than this as the Warriors back into their action. The Warriors team back up as well. Scrubs out the 18th man, Shannon Pye. He's actually the 18th man. Not number 18, Jackson Hill. The Warriors, this is a good set after points. They're down almost into an attacking position as they stand and get the pass around the corner to Byford. He gets one around the corner as well, and the Warriors are rolling. Going to be hard to stop, reaching out, slamming it down. A try to Tusa Sogia. No, he's just short. He's held onto it, but they've got massive numbers on the outside. They go for the corner. Fantastic defence from the Steelers. Jack Goulder, he flew across there. He was beaten for all money. The Warriors had a clean run to the line, but Goulder showed great speed to get across and save a certain try. Well, the Warriors, they did everything but score then. Well, the Steelers, they're certainly under the pump here early. Yeah, the Illawarra Steelers have to bring it away from their own end. Mason Andrews, tell you what, he's got a job to do dealing with this pack as Amone goes to Brookfield. Out the back they go to this left-hand wing, trying to find some weakness on the outside. And Ballinger, though, just has to find the grass. And then a penalty. Looks like Jackson Hill's out there on that wing for the Warriors. Just came back straight through the ruck, went right over the top of Jackson Ballinger, and referee left with no choice to give the penalty. We head back to the comments. Mo, good morning, Mohammed Dib, into the comments as well. Always good to see you. Nice to see the regulars up early and into the call. The Steelers up against the Warriors here. The Warriors with an early try and the Steelers under some early pressure. And again, looking to use the ball, looking to get to the outside and perhaps tire this big Warriors forward pack out as this game continues. They're looking to straighten goes Taylor Humphreys. Warriors defence handles that though. Comes across. They go to the middle of the field with Mason Andrews. Andrews, a good strong charge, but he's picked up at the end of it. He still managed to spin around and find his front. Maasi, the defender. They get it a dummy half through Chapman. Chapman, he's trying to find some spacing behind the ruck, but the marker's working well here early in this game for New Zealand. 7 minutes gone, 6-0 New Zealand lead. And the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard as Brookfield puts a kick right down into the corner. It's still morning, Ian. 10 past 10 now. I know you're 3 hours ahead. It's lunchtime over in New Zealand, though. We've had another couple of hours to that. Right in the middle of the day, this game kicking off. The SG ball to follow. The good running behind the ruck there from Jackson Hill. You won't be able to see on the team list with the score scrolling across the bottom. The Fiddlewani takes it up over halfway, and they're about 40 metres out now from the Steelers line. It's Bishop Neal carries Miafu. And another good charge here from Byford. Miafu gets hold of him, though, and drags him backwards a little bit. A little bit of a double pump. The ball hits the deck. It's picked up here by the Steelers, and they've come up with the ball. So just diving on the loose pass there, the captain, Cooper Morrison. They're very happy with the performance yesterday. Certainly, yeah, the first half an hour was good. Some concerns, I guess, with that 15-minute lapse where we conceded 5 tries. You know, that seemed a lot like what we saw in 2024 as Jet Brookfield puts down a pass. So they're looking to use the ball here, the Steelers, to move the Warriors around. But the problem with that is you've got to execute. If you don't get it right, you can come up with a lot of mistakes, and a pretty simple one there from Brookfield. Yeah, little 15-minute lapse. If you can see 5 tries in any 15-minute period, you're going to put yourself under a lot of pressure particularly against better opposition. That South team wasn't overly strong. We still had most of our best players that were still on the field during that period. So that was concerning, Mo. And we saw a lot of inconsistency through games last year, and that's something that we desperately need to address. As the Warriors, from the scrum win, put it down straight away. Jeremiah Lamana knocks it on, and the Steelers let off the hook. But he was looked like he was pouring through a hole, but he went without the ball. I think for the most part that we've had the same starting 13 for both trials. For me, I don't care who's available. I think that starting 13 should be the starting 13 for round one against the Bulldogs. The bench is the only thing that I think will be different, and I'm not sure what it'll be. And they go straight through here. The Steelers get it out to Ballinger. Ballinger steps back in field. Well, a great break made there by Cooper Morrison. He knew he had the speed man in Ballinger outside him, but the Warriors get to him before he can really break away. And now a lost ball here from Asher Chapman. Just when the Steelers looked like they were getting towards their best opportunity, they come up with an error right on halfway, and the Warriors will get the ball back. That's the only Finau wrapped up a wing spot he has for me, mate. Now, I think Matt Finau's wrapped up a wing spot as well. I think Matt Finau's done absolutely nothing wrong. He certainly didn't score 4 tries, but I don't think there's as much pressure on Matty Finau's wing spot. Christian Tuipulotu is the left winger. He was the left winger, so it's the only Finau he has to beat out Tuipulotu. That's I think the thing that a lot of people forget is that it's not much of a chance of Tuipulotu and Finau being the wingers because they're both left side wingers. So if Tuipulotu comes in, I mean, which one of them do you switch sides? Because they both play on the left side. I think Tuipulotu coming in underdone doesn't come back into the side. He's going back through reserve grade. As the Warriors now attack the line and they barge over but lose it. They drop the ball over the line. They get up celebrating here, Bishop Neal. Well, he is a big, powerful edge running forward, comes back against the angle, goes between defenders. He's arguing with the referee, saying that he scored the try. The referee is not having any of it, saying you have dropped it. I think he's saying he's dropped it just short of the line, so that they come out for a scrum 10 metres out. But the Steelers, all they're doing right now is hanging on and just hoping that this Warriors team gets tired because it's been all down this end of the field for the Steelers. They're down 6-0. 13 minutes gone in this opening half. Warriors flopping on there late is Dougal Grant. As Amone has a little bit of a juggle. He gets it back as the defensive line was racing up into his face. He gets manhandled as you would expect as Miafu. He looks to push away from a few defenders. He's our own big, hard running edge forward. Appeals for a penalty as a bit of extras in that tackle. The Warriors really looking to dominate this ruck, slowing everything down as Amone goes to the line, dummies and goes himself. There's good leg drive from Huller. He's crawling forward towards the halfway point on tackle 5 as Brookfield. This diminutive little number 7 puts a big kick downfield. Lamana takes it on the full, but had to work hard to get to it. So the Warriors right down the other end of the park. Picked up now and driven backwards to the 30-metre line. As remember, tonight we'll be going through the NRL clash, the Charity Shield win over the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The normal Sunday review show, because we had a very unusual Sunday review show last week with actually starting at an hour before the game actually even happened. wasn't much of a review after it. I think we're all pretty much done at the end. But this will be the normal review. We'll have Asman's heroes and villains and all the normal Sunday frivolity. Join us from 6:30 p.m. a new time for the Sunday show, starting it a bit earlier in the day. As the Steelers get a penalty here for it's an offside penalty. Ollie Burton's got up clutching at his nose after copping a high shot. That's not what the penalty's for, though. So the Steelers, can they get down into decent field position here? First tackle is up around the halfway line. A slowish play the ball from Taj Barrett as they come towards the middle with Schofield. Schofield, he's picked up into an awkward position by Ronan Byford. We'll get the penalty here. So back-to-back penalties for the Steelers. Tyson Hanson comes in to get an explanation as to what the penalty's for. I thought it was fairly obvious. Brookfield pumps it into touch. Morrison takes the tap and they move it towards the middle again. A couple of passes before getting to Amono. Amono stands in the tackle and tries to hop towards the 20-metre line. Now Brookfield. Brookfield goes across dummies a couple of times. Gets it out now to Humphreys. Humphreys gets it wider still. And Sonny McGregor put down. Now comes to Chapman. Chapman again comes towards the middle. They go out to Brookfield. Brookfield to Burton. Burton floats one out to Ballinger with the reach behind him. Does a remarkable job to catch that one. Just taps it up to his own advantage. Now Barrett, a one-off hit-up. Well, we haven't seen any of that from the Steelers so far in this game. Chapman. Dummies to Amone, goes out to Brookfield. Brookfield looks to roll one behind. It's bobbling around for Miafu. Miafu picks it up, gets towards the line. He's just short. On tackle 5 now, so the kick wasn't on the last. No restart of the tackle count. Brookfield, he goes right to the line, rolls it in behind. The Warriors, they bobble it around. It's towards the dead ball line and eventually tapped over the dead ball line by Jackson Hill. And a repeat set coming for the Steelers. The good thing was after the lapse, they were able to regain control again and win the game. Yeah, agree. I agree with that to a point. I think by that stage, the Rabbitohs, Wayne Bennett had got out of it what he needed to and started putting some of the reserve grade players on. So I think the NRL trial sort of stopped pretty much at that Ryan Couchman try. So I don't know about regaining control, but we did score one try before all the South top liners came off, and our top liners came off, and then the young kids got to go. It became a bit of a New South Wales Cup trial that last sort of 15 or 20 minutes. The Steelers, though, right on the attack here with Chapman. Goes out to Brookfield. Brookfield to the line. Wrapping around Ollie Burton. Well, that was beautifully worked from the Steelers. Burton slices through. Miafu was the decoy runner. Hits the hole at speed. The timing was sublime from the Illawarra Steelers. And Ollie Burton scores the first try for Illawarra at 6-4 kick to come. Well, they've withstood a barrage of pressure from New Zealand. They've done well to only be 6-0 down, and now it looks like they're about to lock this one up with about 18 and a half gone so far. The Jag says, waking up on a Sunday morning after a Charity Shield win, how good does it feel? It certainly feels bloody good, Jess. Good to see in the comments. It's been a tough run in Charity Shields. Haven't won too many, as the St George Illawarra Dragons, as Big T pointed out on the Tuesday show. It's a much better record if you look at your pre-joint venture. But since the joint venture, it's been a competition that's been dominated by the South Sydney Rabbitohs. So it's fantastic to get a win. But at the end of the day, it is just a trial. And as Jesse says, it will go up a notch. As the conversion attempt is successful. We're locked at 6-all. Just on 20 minutes gone. 10 to go in this first half. Need to be better again against the Bulldogs. Well, you just can't afford those lapses. And it'll be just a completely different intensity in round one. You know, it'll go up about 5 notches. It won't go up 1. It'll go up about 5 notches. It's going to be so much more intense, so much more physical. It's just a different ball game. Trials, I think too many people read too much into trials. It means absolutely nothing that we've won both our trials. It just helps us to be able to finalise our 17. That's the only thing it does. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose. It's watching the individual players and how they go, because each team's trying to get different things out of each game. So I wouldn't read too much out of it. Hasman will be making an appearance, so far as I know. He was a late scratching for the show on Sunday. Did his hammy in the warm up, and he wasn't able to take the field, so we had to get a last minute replacement. But I believe Hasman it was just a 1 week hamstring, so he's back in the fold this week. The Steelers another penalty puts them back into a good attacking position as Amone takes that hit up with about 30 metres out from the Warriors line. Chapman goes to Brookfield. Brookfield goes one dummy. Now out to Humphries. Humphries flips over as he tries to straighten. Looks like another whistle. It's the hit on Brookfield, was it? Or was it Miafu was the decoy runner getting taken out? Regardless, somebody off the ball that didn't have the pill got tackled, and the Steelers get a penalty for it. So McGregor's going to take the tap. Dummy to Miafu, and he just takes the run himself. Looks to spin away from the first contact. We're right on the Warriors line, just 10 out on this first tackle. Mason Andrews takes us to within 5. Chapman gets it a dummy half. He goes to Schofield, who tries to back his way over the line. He's got 4 or 5 Warriors there to hold him up and keep him in the field of play. That means there's got to be some space somewhere. Brookfield realises that, goes to Humphries. Humphries rolling it in behind early in the tackle count. And they'll get the repeat set. It's a nicely measured kick from Humphries. Never really looked at a chance of creating a try, which is kind of what you want with an early tackle kick. But the Warriors read it fairly well. But it's well weighted enough to get into the in goal. So we will get the repeat set. Goes down the dropout, doesn't go too far, only goes 30 metres, and Barrett takes it back to the 20-metre line. Chapman, we look to set up another shot at the Warriors line with Mason Andrews taking it forward. Amone to the right. They go out the back to Brookfield on the left. Now Burton dummying and going again. This time he's shut down. An important tackle there from Hanson. Now Barrett just tries to barge over. I don't know whether that's the way to get through this Warriors line. Chapman dummies a couple now. They had a few runners in motion. They try and get over. Great strength again from Schofield. But the Warriors, they get numbers into the tackle. They hold him up over the line. And that's tackle 5 as he takes it back to the 10-metre line. So they're going to, again, need a good kick and a good finish to this set. It's been a feature of their play so far. Brookfield goes to Burton, goes out wide at a Humphries. Humphries again rolling it in behind. Chasing through and showing great speed. Getting to it first is Jack Goulder. Goulder's had some moments down the other end of the park, and he flies through. Well, he is lightning, Jack Goulder. Gets to the ball, plants it in the corner, just before the sideline, just before the dead ball line. And Taylor Humphries, a great little kick again. This one does yield points as it turns around the big winger out there on the left for the Warriors, and the Steelers are in front, 10-6, kick to come. Well, it's been fantastic to watch this Steelers side go about their work. The first 15 minutes was one-way traffic for the Warriors. They looked under the pump. They were struggling to contain this big, physical New Zealand team. But they did. They scrambled well. They did what they had to do to keep them out. They conceded just the one try in that period, and they've come down this end of the field, and they've just been patient. Their kicking game has been on point. Everything has been very, very slick down in the attacking area. They've waited for their chances and they've taken them. Conversion attempt from the sideline. Taylor Humphries, well, his general kicking game's been fantastic. How's his goal kicking game? Waved away, just out to the right-hand side of the post. The Steelers in front, 10 points to 6, 25 minutes gone. 5 to go until half-time. Jesse saying he's been benched tonight. Well, he was in the original lineup, but he's been a late omission. We've decided we need a bit more power on in the starting side. So Jesse's been put onto the bench, but he'll be back on Tuesday. Well, not this Tuesday, the Tuesday after. He'll be back for the Saturday show, the 1st of March. The big NRL preview. Looking forward to that. The Steelers again looking to put it on after points. Get through their set as Brookfield. Underneath the Miafu. The Warriors are really working to slow him down, not allowing those quick play the balls as Mason Andrews takes it up over halfway line. So a decent set after points. It comes from Chase to Brookfield for the kick. He's got plenty of depth on his kick. There is absolutely nothing of Jeff Brookfield. He's about 3'1", but he launches into those kicks. I don't know if there's it's hard to see. There's just some bare grass in the background. I can't see anything blowing, no trees. I don't know if there's a breeze at the Steelers back in this first half or what the conditions are like over there at Navigation Home Stadium. But he seems to be getting plenty of depth on his kicks here. As the Warriors, the first time they've had the ball for a little while. Get up towards the halfway. There's a little chip and chase there from New Zealand. Just the fullback to beat. They were back deep. And it's still going on. Look at the skill level here of the big number 12, Bishop Neal. Well, just a little dink over the top. He is a big unit. No one was expecting that. The wingers had dropped back. He got the ball back a little step on Oliver Burton. Jackson Ballinger couldn't handle the big unit on his own. He slapped him aside. And as the cover defence came from behind, they couldn't get to him in time as Bishop Neal dives over in the corner for a fantastic individual try to lock this one up. Ian Johnson, what concerns me is that early in the game where Val couldn't sprint the full length of the field, he's still short of full strength. I don't think he is, mate. I just don't think he's as fast as he used to be. Sione Finau is significantly quicker than him. He should have given the ball to Finau a lot earlier than he did. I think Sione would have got there a lot easier if he didn't have to slow down and wait for Val to give it to him. I just think he's not as fast as he used to be. There's a lot of faster players than Val Holmes around. Now, I don't think it's anything to do with being short of a gallop or being unfit or anything like that. He's just not quite as quick as he used to be, as that conversion attempt is waved away. The scoreline at 10-all. We've got about 30 seconds left in this first half. So it looks like that will be the halftime scoreline. It's been a fascinating opening 30. Looking forward to the second half of this game. Could be in for a nail biter to competition heavyweights here in the Harold Matthews Cup. And coming forward, banging off the knees. Was there any hands involved there from Dougal Grant? Referee says it was all legs, and he managed to scramble and clean up his own mess. McKaylee has the next carry for the Warriors. Some good defence there from Amone and Miafu, and they're not going to play the ball there before half-time. The siren sounds. And at the break, well, it couldn't be any closer. We're back where we started effectively. It's 10-all. The Warriors were very, very strong early. Ronan Byford scoring the first try as they just hammered the Steelers through the middle of the park. Eventually, the big front row barging over and scoring the first. They had a number of other opportunities, New Zealand, to extend that lead. That came up just short or knocked on just before the line. There was a few chances that they had, a few times it looked like they had scored, but didn't. And when the Steelers finally got up the other end, got a couple of penalties, a bit of ill discipline from the Warriors side. They got up the other end. A great try from Ollie Burton, just brilliantly worked by the Steelers team. They scored that one, and then there was a perfectly weighted kick from Taylor Humphries for Jack Goulder in the corner. A little grubber in behind, and he's very, very quick, Jack Goulder. Perhaps a name to remember if you like players with speed. Jack's got plenty of it. Saved a try down the other end, scored one in the corner for us. It looks a bit of a prospect. That gave us a 10-6 lead before a fantastic individual effort from the Warriors' Bishop Neal. And saw him score a little chip over the top, regather, beat a couple. He's got some skills as Big Bishop Neal. And that gives us our 10-all scoreline at halftime. We'll take a bit of a break here and be back with the second half shortly. Well, this tune, it's titled Acoustic Cinematic. Just one of the default tunes they've got. I don't know about cinematic, but there we go. That's the great elevator music you get to listen to here on the Mad Dragon podcast at halftime. We'll head into the comments as the Steelers make their way back out onto the field. Mohammed Dib says, saw former Dragon Ashton Ward playing yesterday for the Bunnies. Yeah, it's funny talking about that Lewis Dodd and his troubles. I thought Ashton Ward was better than Lewis Dodd in the first week of trials, and Jamie Humphries was better than him in the second week. So I think he's under a lot of pressure to be the Bunnies' number 7 for any significant period of time. He's been very underwhelming in his first 2 hit-outs before the regular season gets underway. But Ashton Ward, obviously an off-season move for him. Again, it's just a case of the Dragons can't keep them all, and systems that are incapable of developing their own talent are always going to look to Penrith and the Dragons and Brisbane and places like that have bigger pools of talent. Even New Zealand, the Warriors that we're playing here, there's plenty of talent over there, and so those bigger pools of talent are where a lot of teams like South Sydney will go looking for players. And it probably would have been a very, very close decision as to whether Ashton Ward or Jonah Glover got that supplementary list spot. The Dragons have decided to go with Jonah Glover over Ward, and time will tell whether that is the right decision or not. Ian Johnson, further to the Val Holmes comment, saying coming back from a broken leg may have taken a bit out of his top speed. Yeah, that's certainly possible. Yeah, but I don't think he was slow. I think the Warriors have the Bunnies had a lot of young, fast players that were pursuing him, and he's. I don't think he's ever been the quickest player in the league, and I don't know that he was any slower than he's ever been. We're underway here for the second half. It is 10-all on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. The Warriors with first use of it. They're coming up full of fire, so they're going to have to withstand another barrage, you would think, here, the Steelers. They're a big physical side. They showed in the first half what they can do. So they're up to the 40-metre line in this first set as they work down this left-hand side. That one's knocked down by Sonny McGregor, so it'll be another set of 6 coming up here for the Warriors. They get up against this left-hand touch line before they're put down. The Warriors coming towards the middle to Sagia. And they go further wide, 30 metres out from the Steelers' line. Run from dummy half, punching back in behind the rucker. Another repeat set. The Steelers' marker's not square. So they get the sticks again, Core. Ramone makes the tackle. Marriott waits at dummy half. Taking that one forward, Tiatia. They're about 2 metres out now from the Steelers' line. That one turned underneath, and there's a great tackle down low. Just did what he had to do. They're Jet Brookfield, and now they barge over here, the Warriors. Again, too big and strong. I think it's a double for Ronan Byford. Just punching into space. And the Steelers, well, they haven't touched the ball here in this second half. And they go from that 10-all scoreline to behind 14-10. The Warriors starting the second half in much the same way they started the first. Sawagia. Lapati Tusa Sawagia with the conversion attempt from right in front. Should knock this over, shouldn't have any dramas at all. Warriors out to a 16-10 lead. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Here at Navigation Home Stadium. It's on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard, of course. Well, hopefully we get a chance to put the Steelers team back up on the screen. The Warriors just driving forward in that first set. We'll do the same again here. An error, though, here from the Warriors early in the set. The Steelers, they're looking to the sideline for instructions in terms of what their coach wants them to do. We'll take it over to the hatch mark, 20 metres in from touch. Yep, 35 out, 25 out from the line. A chance for them to perhaps strike straight back. Jackson, it's try scorer Jack Goulder that feeds the scrum. They go the sweep across field and they've come up with a knock on the first play. It was Cooper Morrison trying to punch into a hole. It was a set move from the scrum, but not quite the execution required there from the Steelers. Coming up with error and handing possession straight back to the Warriors. Well, 16-10. New Zealand with an early try in this second half, and there's a great run from Athalele Fretton. They charge up to the halfway line. Again, the Steelers having to get numbers into the tackle to control them, but it's still 15, 20 metre run. Better line speed there from Illawarra. Get up and shut it down quickly. But punching him behind the ruck on the next play, having to come in to shut that down is Miafu. The good runners that get straight back onto the front foot. Tiatia gets up, plays the ball quickly to Marriott. Well, got up without the ball is the ruling. He's just let it go. And the Steelers will get the scrum. Unable to build any real pressure. They're the New Zealand side, the home side. Would have gone into this game as very slight favourites. It's always hard to work out form in this competition because not every team plays every team, and there's big gaps between the good teams and the bad teams. So it's often difficult to work out who the good teams are and who the not so good teams are. But Warriors is the defending champs, unbeaten. The Steelers unbeaten also. do kind of feel that these are two very good Harold match teams in 2025. The Warriors being at home have the slight edge. There's Brookfield. Brookfield goes across, gets that one out the back. Now he hits Sonny McGregor up around the halfway line. The defence read that pretty well. Well, there's a repeat set. Well, the Warriors they just laid on top. They turtled around and they invited the referee to give that penalty as Miafu stayed down, slow to his feet. The trainer, he ran on very, very quickly, pointing to the head. He's looking at that touch judge, glaring at the touch judge as the trainer. After the high shot on Cretan Miafu, the touch judge has not seen it. Hasn't seen it the same way as the trainer. And Cretan very slow to his feet, but there were some death stares in the direction of the touch judge. Giving the balance test, but he did certainly seem a little wobbly and slow to get up, but he's got the thumbs up. I don't know that he said anything to the touch judge, the trainer, but he's certainly looking at him. He's glaring at him, and there's been no change of heart from the touch judge. He hasn't influenced him in any way. It's just to play the ball. Chase gets that a little wider. Picked up and driven backwards. Now Brookfield. Brookfield goes the outside-inside play. One of the bench players, it's either Barlow or Fenwick there for the Steelers. Now the pass out the back to Brookfield. Brookfield sweeps it wider again to Humphreys. Humphreys looks to straighten between defenders, but they hold him there. McGregor gets into dummy half. He goes to the middle through Chase. Chase gets it wide up. Put down on 5. Brookfield is deep. He sweeps out to the left. Goes to the line. Rolls it in behind. Another very good kick. And they'll do well to get back in the field of play. They do just back into the field of play there. The Warriors. And then just lying in the rush, they get the penalty. Weren't able to get clean ball from the ball. Jackson Ballinger penalised. At least Murray Cooper saying it was a head clash. Cretan Miafu and the Warriors player. So not a high shot. The trainer certainly thought it was a high tackle, but you've better eyes than me, Lisa. So after the penalty, the Warriors making their way up towards halfway. That game has gone back into arm wrestle mode. We've got about 20 minutes still to play. It comes across to Tusa Sawagia. He bombs one down to Burton, who catches up above his head. Well, he leapt a bit too early, I thought. He had to reach up and behind himself to catch it, Ollie Burton. It looked spectacular. I don't know whether it needed to be quite that difficult, but it was a nice take all the same. So now the Steelers have the ball and working up towards this 40-metre line. Hoping to get some assistance to get up the other end of the field. Tried to play the ball, and Warriors players all in the ruck. Ashton Moore just throws it on the ground and hands possession back to the Warriors. Again, plenty of complaints from the Steelers players, the referee, steadfast in his conviction. Happy enough that there was no infringement from the Warriors, and they get a scrum feed inside the Steelers' half. So Marriott at dummy half. They work down this right-hand channel. They keep going right. A good run there. Gets them to about 12 metres out now from the Steelers' line. Elliott towards the middle of the park. He's up against that right-hand post. Just outside that mark. Marriott looks left, goes right. It goes to Lamana. Lamana bounced it away from one. Looked like there was a bit of space out there. I'll tell you what, centre and winger, Morrison and Ballinger, they both raced up there to shut that down. If you'd have been able to get it to the outside, there was real danger. They take it up on the last, and Marriott is tackled just before the line, and they'll hand it over. So the Steelers, they survive, and now they're trying to bring it out of their own end. Well, I don't know what giving it to the littlest player on the field is the way to get out of your own end. Ballinger came in for a brave run, but they've got their wingers in. Wingers and centres not the biggest here for the Steelers. And they are struggling. Although a second effort in that tackle could have yielded a penalty, doesn't. They get outside the 20 now, but it's tough work here, tough sledding for the Illawarra side as Brookfield goes to Miafu. Miafu goes wider still. A dummy and go, and the Steelers are off. Well, does well, stays in the field of play, just finds the grass. Taylor Humphrey slicing through. Miafu goes across to Brookfield. Brookfield gets the left boot to the ball. Not quite the depth on that one. Was under plenty of pressure as he got it 2 or 3 wide. And the Warriors were racing up to put pressure on. And New Zealand have got the ball just 8 metres short of halfway on the first play. We'll stay with the action for now. I'll go into the comments at the end of this set if we survive or if we don't. It's the Warriors now 40 metres out. That pass from dummy half looked dodgy, and it's called by the referee or the touch judge. Well, no, it's the referee. The touch judge was back on the 10-metre line, so it has to be the ref that's called it. It definitely was forward. And the Steelers, well, this is very much like the first half. The Warriors scored early. From there, that the Steelers just hanging on. But they've still only conceded that 1 try in this half. Got it on a very big screen, or I'd have to use a magnifying glass. You know, when I have it outside, I can usually see a bit better. They've got it in the studio today. The quality of the television in here not quite as good. It's a really old one that I've got in the studio. I'm having a bit of trouble picking up numbers and all that sort of stuff on this screen, but great to have the eyes of Lisa Marie Cooper helping me out as Chase gets out of dummy half and goes up towards the halfway line and beyond. Slow play the ball though as Miafu gets one of those bench players that's out on the field. You get those 2-digit numbers, they blend together, so it's hard to pick up who's who. I think that was Jordan Barlow. Now the Steelers looking for a repeat set here on 5. It comes from Chase. They go out the back now to Brookfield. Brookfield to Humphreys. Humphreys just hands it on to Miafu. Miafu puts a little grubber in behind. They get to the ball and Goulder. Geez, he's having a game, Jack Goulder. He gets over for another one. We saw a great try from Bishop Neal, the second rower, putting in a kick. We show that we've got our own second rower that's got crafty skills and a nice little grubber in behind. Jack Goulder got to it, still had some work to do. He gets his second. It's 16-14 kick to come. Well, Craig Miafu, he's a dangerous edge forward, doing some great things. Stepped up that try. It was the last tackle. They looked to use the ball. It got to Creighton. He didn't think he could get the result that he needed with a pass. or by running it, took it to the line, drew in a couple of defenders, threaded the needle with a nice little kick in behind. Jack Goulder, with his pace, gets to it first and had the strength to carry one over the line and slam it down. Not the easiest of conversion attempts for Taylor Humphreys. He's about 5 metres in from touch. Important kick to try and lock this one up. He moves in. Looks okay off the boot. Swinging across and both flags go up. Well, it just kept swinging and swinging, but it was just inside that left-hand upright as it drops over the crossbar. And we are locked at 16 all. Got about 12 minutes left in this game, and it has been an absolute ball terror so far. So a great contest, and it continues. Lisa Marie Cooper, nice one. Jesse Godfrey, Lewis Dodd suspended for round 1 after his tackle on Sione Finau yesterday. Josh Curran also out. One of the Dogs' best. He was absolutely sensational before he got sin bin for a high. That was very late in the game too. That Josh Curran one from memory. Sent to the sin bin. And he's gonna miss the clash against the Dragons. So bonus there for the St George Illawarra NRL side. There's the Steelers. They bring it up towards halfway on a set after points. There's Chase. They've done a lot of this moving of the ball, trying to wear this Warriors side out. Let's see if that tactic pays dividends here down the stretch. There's Amone. Amone goes out to Brookfield. Brookfield goes wider still, gets it out wide now, and the legs now of Ballinger. We get to see his speed down that left-hand touch line. They wrap him up, though, around the bootlaces. On the last, Barrett's just going to take a hit-up. Well, I don't know whether they knew that was the last play. It was just a hit-up from Taj Barrett on 5, and they'll hand it over. There's a few players getting assessed there by trainers for potential head knocks. The referees just ignored them and got the game back underway. Warriors come up with an error. It's picked up by Miafu, and now the Steelers are right on the attack. They go from dummy half and trying to barge over again here, mate. Schofield. He's been powerful. Done his absolute best against his big Warriors pack. Brookfield. He dummies and goes, takes the line on. The hole closes, and it's going to be a penalty here for a trip. No, a high shot. Looked like he signalled trip initially there, the referee, but then well, maybe he was just tripping over himself. They're pointing to the post here to take the 2. The Steelers, because it's not hard to hit Jet Brookfield high. I have mentioned he's 3'1". That's his official measurements. He's built very low to the ground. I think he's a little bit taller than 3'1", but not by much. But your penalty right in front, 10 out. Taylor Humphreys will step up and look to put the Steelers in front in the final 10 minutes of this game. It's not often an option that under 17s teams think of, the penalty goal. They get the penalty right in front in a level ball game. They don't hesitate. No surprise he knocks that over from in front. And the Steelers, they take the lead in this one. 18-16. We've got about 8 minutes to play. Well, I hope now they don't just go into their shell and try and defend this lead. They go out there and keep going after the game, because I think if they try and defend this lead, they might might struggle. Jesse Godfrey has Sione Finau cemented a wing spot for round 1. 4 tries in 30 minutes. What an effort. I think I've already answered that question earlier in the broadcast, Jess. Maybe rewind and have a look, because Mo already asked that question. My answer was yes, 100%. He has secured a wing spot, which means Christian Tuipulotu has to come back through reserve grade, because that's the wing spot that he's on. He's on Christian Tuipulotu's wing. So that's the spot that he's got as the Steelers. Well, it certainly doesn't look like they've gone into their shell. They go across to Ollie Burton, looking to use the ball there. And they're up towards halfway. Well, the Warriors just spent an eternity just looking at the referee, waiting for instruction. Goes back to Brookfield, and Brookfield's going to get to the kick. Gets over the head of the fullback. Well, he's had great depth on his kicks, Jeff Brookfield. And once again, right down into a corner, Jack Goulder gets through and just monsters the fullback. And they've trapped the Warriors exactly where they want them. Now they don't want to give away a penalty. The line speed good there from the Steelers. And, well, exactly what I said. They didn't want to give away a penalty. And they've jumped the gun, offside, inside the 10. Cretan Miafu's screaming in the referee's face just about. Not happy with the call. And they haven't found touch, the Warriors. Goulder goes back, takes the catch. Well, New Zealand, that is a cardinal sin, a coach killer. Who in the world would want to be a coach when things like that happen to you on both sides? You side giving away a penalty when it's the last thing you want to happen. And then the Warriors coach has to watch his side fail to find the sideline from 2 metres beside it. They were right up against the touchline. That's not a play the ball. And, well, they get the penalty there, the Steelers. The Warriors, they were all over them in the ruck, but it's one of those 50-50 ones that could go either way, where the referee could say you just tried to play it too quickly, quicker than you were entitled to, or it goes against the defenders for being too long in the tackle. So that one goes our way. The referee's having some stern words with the Steelers. I did mention Cretan Miafu remonstrating with the referee moments ago. He's actually not going to award a penalty here. He's going to say, come back and play the ball, have another go at it, cut your crap. I'm not sure how he's done that, the referee, but in any case, it's just to play the ball for the Steelers. So now Amone, dummies on the inside, goes himself. He had runners inside and out. Did the Steelers lock forward? Did a pretty good game, Huller. Now they get out of dummy half. Brookfield, he tips that one on to Andrews. And a penalty again here for the Steelers. Brookfield was taken after he gave the pass. The Warriors are getting up, trying to put pressure on. And it's put on report. Kahu Chase comes up to take the tap. The referee, he's certainly under the pump. There's Andrews. A little skip before he gets into his work. He charges into the line. Schofield wraps around to the right. He wants the next run. It goes out the back of him, but it's a lost ball from Mason Andrews. And once again, he doesn't agree with the decision. That the decision's been made. Well, the referee's certainly having his influence in these last few minutes. He's not allowing the teams to play at all. Been very stop-start. For the Warriors, they'll get another chance. They've got the ball. Mama Dib, I doubt Lewis Dodd would have played anyway, to be honest. Lewis Dodd's on $700,000 a year, Mo. I think South will be desperate to make sure that he is the 7. But I just don't think he's played well enough. He was 100% going to be the 7 until these 2 trial games. But he's been outplayed by Jamie Humphries. So I don't agree with that comment. Lewis Dodd was always meant to be the 7 for the Bunnies. Is the reason why they decided they didn't need Lachlan Ilias, because they had this gun half from England. But he hasn't proved to be a gun in his first 2 showings. The Warriors, big finish coming up here. Getting up towards the halfway line. I might address some of the other comments there after the full-time siren. They go in behind the ruck here, the Warriors, and try and find some space. Tackle 5. They've got to come up with something very, very shortly. They go down the right-hand side, try and put a little kick in behind. They've got the ball back. A bit of hot potato football. The ball hits the deck. I think there might have been someone tackled without the ball, but there's a knock-on before that happens. The Warriors will hand over possession on the last. The Steelers, they scrambled and scrambled and scrambled. They're pretending now they don't know where they've got to play the ball. Hala Ramone's 10 metres in. And they'll play the ball, and it's with Burton. Burton takes the first run of the set. There's still 2 minutes left on the clock on the screen. That's not the official clock, however. There may still be a little bit longer than that left. Morrison getting out of dummy half. He's up over the 40-metre line. No thoughts of an offload. He backs towards the halfway line. The Warriors told to get up. 6 more. Well, that's a huge play there for the Steelers. That's exactly what they wanted, exactly what they needed. As Burton pulls through the defence, gets to the other side. They try and rip it out one-on-one, but they're now 30 metres out from the Warriors' line. The Steelers leading by 2. They work down a short side with Schofield. And Schofield put down. They're inside the Warriors' 20. Andrews goes out the back to Brookfield. Brookfield dummies, holds it right at the line, gives it a tough pass to Cretan Miafu, who does well just to hold it. So now the settler, bumping off defenders. The Warriors, they are starting to look tired and ragged in defence. It goes to Brookfield. Brookfield double pumps, goes out wide. Ballinger dives in the corner, and the Steelers celebrate. Jackson Ballinger, a great winner's finish. But Jet Brookfield, some high-level skills from him. Double pumping, goes to the line, draws in the defence, finds the right option, hits Jackson Ballinger on the chest, and he dives over as the secret handshakes abound. He'll take his time with this kick from the sideline, and we should hear the siren before the Warriors get the kick off. We hope to hear the siren before the Warriors get the kick off, and it looks like the Illawarra Steelers Harold Matt's team will remain unbeaten. Well, it's been a fine performance from the young Steelers. Give the Wars a taste of steel, as Jesse says in the comments. Absolutely. Give them a taste. Give them a taste. Give them a taste of steel. We've got the SG Ball Cup clash coming up after this one. And the Steelers go 2 from 2 in New Zealand. Jesse also says the Broncos are cursed again. 2 years in a row they've won the pre-season challenge. They're winning it last year and finishing 12th. I think Manly the year before won it and finished 12th. So lock the Broncos in to finish 12th in 2025. The kick from the sideline. It's got a lot of height on it. Doesn't look like it's got the legs. It's going to fall well short. So the Warriors, they'll charge up to the halfway line. Well, if the siren doesn't sound, there's still a chance here. It's 22-16. Time has expired on the clock on the screen, but there has been a little bit of time off. So if they can get the ball back from the kickoff, well, they haven't even tried. They've gone long here, the Warriors. There's no short kickoff. And they just boot it long down to the Steelers. As we just wait for this full-time siren to sound. So the Steelers up now to the halfway line, the 30-metre line. They're a fair way short of the halfway line. Burton's been heavily involved, and he gets stronger the longer a game goes, Ollie Burton. Suddenly he looks like a front rower, just powering through the middle and almost coming out the other side as Brookfield goes out now to Humphreys. Great footwork from Humphreys, a flick out to Goulmer. The ball hits the ground and the Warriors going to touch. The flag is up. Well, Taylor Humphreys, he seemed to teleport a couple of times there and the Warriors didn't know where he was. Found his way into space. There can't be too long left on the clock. The Warriors will have the scrum feed 40 metres out from their own line, so not the worst of field position. And there is the full-time siren sounding. The referee says he's seen enough. He was actually signalling that it was going to be a Steelers play the ball in any case. And I would have thought that Goulder knocked on before the Warriors player went into touch, but that's not how they ruled. Maybe Lisa Marie Cooper saw something on her 100-inch screen that she's got going. Maybe it was off the legs of Goulder and wasn't actually a knock-on. I'm not sure. But in any case, it's a full-time score of the Steelers, 22-16. A fantastic win where they had to come from behind and they had to withstand a lot of pressure. And the start of both halves, the Warriors just came out firing, full of fire and brimstone and big bodies just charging at the Steelers. They scored early in both halves to get a 6-0 lead and a 16-10 lead. But on both occasions, the Steelers just held their nerve, fought back into the game, stuck to their game plan and got it done. A very good win from the Illawarra Steelers. They win this one 22-16. Might head into the comments and address some of the comments in the screen. Where did we get to? Probably would have scored more tries if he hadn't been knocked senseless, Sione Finau. Well, I think I said to Big T that because he only played 30 minutes, if you extrapolate what he did in 30 minutes and say that, well, he would have kept doing that for 80, he would have run for 331 metres and scored 11 tries, Ian. So, that's what we missed out on. That's exactly what he would have done. And unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to do quite that. Yeah, Lisa Marie Cooper saying she saw a knock on there, so absolutely. Dodge should be spending time on the bench after taking... Yeah, well, he has been suspended for round one, Ian. So Dodge is facing some time on the sideline, so won't be available for that round one clash. But I don't know that he... I think Jamie Humphreys did all he could to secure that number 7 jersey anyway, which would be a shock because he was supposed to be a 9. He was coming over to play 9 for South, and it looks like he might start in the 7 jersey. So yeah, very good. Jesse Godfrey. Yeah, well, let's read this one out. Come on, mighty woman gone with the Illawarra Steelers. You can't go wrong with a hit so strong, gonna give 'em a taste of steel. Hey, la, 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 with the Illawarra Steelers. Yeah, good comment, Jesse. Fantastic stuff there from the Illawarra Steelers. Reminder that the Mad Dragon podcast, we are back tonight from 6:30 p.m. with a full review of that NRL game, the Charity Shield game against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Look forward to bringing you that, and I'll be back shortly with the SG Ball.
Coco is at Pell's heart, she wears it on her sleeve. As Muzz tells tales of dragons, wins and tuna victory. Tony and the NP crew will do their very best, hitting up topic and I digress with a red bee on our chest. The Mad Dragon podcast is a sheep of camaraderie, navigating rants down rabbit holes in the land of the big red bee. And so our peddlers speak the tales and our pursuit is our dream. The Mad Dragon podcast, funded by